So, for all you business owners, whether a sole proprietor, I don't know, independent salesperson, or even the CEO of a large company, let me ask you this. How important is it for you to make connections with other businesses? And how important is it for you to get the training for you and your employees, either or? And how important is it for you to know about everything that is going on? Oh, God, in, I guess you could say, the political world, as far as it, you know, how it affects your business. I would think all that stuff is very important, which is one reason I still can't understand why a lot of business owners and businesses in general are not members of their Chamber of Commerce. That one baffles me. Well, on this episode of Harford County Living with Rich Bennett, I had the pleasure of sitting down with the three ladies, the backbone behind the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. Stay tuned. The one thing I see on social media all the time is people asking for recommendations. Whether it be for a roofer or lawn service, or even a financial institution. Well, I want to tell you about my financial institution, the one that I bank with. They are amazing, definitely in the top of the nicest people I have ever worked with. I have an account there, my business account there. My daughter opened up an account there. And they're so easy to work with. If there's any problems, which I haven't had any, but if there is, you can call them right away and they're there to take care of you. So you're probably asking me, well, Rich, who are you talking about? I'm talking about Freedom Federal Credit Union. That's right. Freedom Federal Credit Union is here in Harford County. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe if you live in Baltimore County, you can become a member now too. So they're a community chartered federal credit union offering consumer financial services to those who live, work, volunteer, worship, attend school, even virtually, or have family in Harford County. And like I said, I believe Baltimore County as well. They're just amazing. They've been in business since 1953. They have 5 locations throughout Harford County. They have banking online, of course. So, God, check them out. If you're looking for a financial institution or if you're not happy with the one you're with, you got to go to them. freedomfcu.org. That's it. freedomfcu.org. I'm a member, and I can tell you it is definitely, without a doubt, the best financial institution I have ever been with.
Welcome to Harford County Living with Rich Bennett, coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union studios. Each week, you'll hear interesting interviews, commentary, discussions, storytelling, and more. Here's your host, Marine Corps veteran, professional DJ, entrepreneur, podcaster, and my father, Rich Bennett.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Harford County Living with Rich Bennett. Today, well, actually, let me back up a minute, because a while ago I had one of these young ladies on the podcast, and we had a good discussion, but there were some things we didn't cover. So this time I have 3 young ladies on the podcast. Yes, I'm glutton for punishment because I'm the only guy, but I'm used to it. I have Kate Rodriguez, Heather Murphy, and Angela Rose from the Harford County Chamber of Commerce on with me. And we're going to talk. A lot of people think the chamber is a networking group, and it's not really a network. It's more than that. It's well, I'll let you guys explain. So first of all, welcome, ladies. How you doing?
Hello. Thanks for having us. And thanks for Kate and Heather are young, but thank you for putting me in that group with them. I really appreciate it.
Well, you, Angela, you are. Face it. You're younger.
I feel very honored right now.
You don't look a day over 25.
Your check's in the mail. Thank you.
So, all right. So, Angela, when you were on last time, we talked about the chamber, but we didn't really go into everything. And I think what a lot of people don't realize, and we were talking before we started recording, was because we were talking about the digital advertising tax. The thing that the chamber does, not just to bring businesses together, but to help businesses out throughout the state. Can you guys go into that some?
Absolutely. So we love to say that we are your voice in business. And what that means is really bringing our membership together and having that collective voice in the advocacy realm at the local, state, and federal levels. So we have great relationships with our elected officials where we have pretty much open communication. If something is coming out like that digital ad tax, we can sit there and really talk about what the actual effects are going to be and how taxes are going to impact businesses and what that trickle down effect is going to look like. Oftentimes, things look great on paper and in theory, but when you really start to vet it and try to get through the meat and potatoes of it, you see that it's going to be hurtful as opposed to helpful. And so and a lot of businesses are owner operator businesses or small businesses that don't have the resources to have a political person on their payroll and or the time to be able to look at this because they're running their business and trying to be successful and stay profitable. So if we can handle that aspect for our members, we absolutely are willing and able.
How many members even know that that's what goes into it, what you guys do?
And I'll let Heather talk about it because she really talks to the membership, but we try to really have that conversation with any prospective members that are coming in, that is one of our pillars, our core pillars of work. And then with the current membership, Kate's done an amazing job with getting that information out. Whether it be on a weekly basis or a daily basis. With the pandemic, we had so much information coming out at us that we wanted to distribute. She did a great job with collecting everything and putting that out in an efficient way. So I hope our membership at this point understands that advocacy piece. Heather talks to the members, she calls and checks in on them, and that's a wonderful way to have that conversation about who we are, what we do, and how we can be helpful.
So we are lucky in the sense of we are a larger chamber in the area. We have an extraordinary amount of businesses that are part of our membership. Over 550. See, I don't know if I can even work this.
All right. For those of you listening, Heather is getting new floors put in, and we're being COVID friendly. We're recording virtually through Squadcast again. So, Heather, it's okay. You can do it. I have confidence.
Well, I have to give Andrew kudos.
You have to what?
Let me start with that. I think it's very important to recognize the priorities that Angela brought to the chamber when she started, and advocacy was one of those. You mentioned everybody kind of affiliates the chamber with a networking organization, which is great in the sense that is certainly a benefit. It's something that we want to have people connect. But at the heart of it, the chamber is a trade association. It's a business advocacy organization. And Angela really was the one that spearheaded that huge rebrand, if you will. So I'd like to think at this point, I'm trying to work within the break.
Every 4 pounds.
I told you this was going to be hard. I apologize.
That's okay. You're fine.
So we've really, really honed in those efforts. And what you said is important to start off, because I think advocacy is not very well understood. And what Angela really tries to do, and her having that presence in Annapolis, being so vocal in the community, really helps to bring it home and have members understand, hey, this is a legislative issue, and this is how it impacts the business, or it might even impact you on a personal level. It goes deeper than even just the business community. And I'd like to think at this point, we've had a good 3+ years of really being at the forefront of advocacy, making sure that we are very well respected with our legislators. And I think that our members are definitely recognizing that. We have a lot of people come to us and bring up issues that they're concerned about. It's great for those conversations. That's what we want to hear from them is, what are you concerned about that the chamber can help support? So we've come a long way for sure.
Actually, on that note, because you said the members are bringing these questions up to you, have we had any businesses that aren't members yet contact us with some of these questions?
Absolutely. And during COVID, we really tried to put information out to everyone. And Kate, again, did an amazing job of utilizing all marketing platforms to distribute that information so that whether you were a member or not, you found the benefit in that information and understanding those impacts. And, Heather fielded 1 million calls, maybe not 1 million, maybe 500,000. With just questions. A lot of people, especially March, April timeframe, whether they were members or not, had questions about the EIDL loans or PPP, or, okay, if I took PPP, then I can't take the employee tax retention credit. A lot of those questions. And we tried to answer as much as we could. And if we didn't have a specific answer, we would resource that out. And there was one business that I had worked with in a previous life who, I really tried to provide her a lot of information, and she's not a chamber member, but it was, we felt like it was our duty to support the business community during this time in totality.
Now, one of the things that probably a lot of people don't realize during COVID, you guys have been extremely busy, haven't you?
Yes. And if trying to find the silver lining in things, to your question earlier about asking if our members knew the advocacy work that we do, I think that the pandemic really showcased that and was able to make that connection for them of, oh, okay, this is something that they're involved in. And we absolutely have not stopped during this time frame. And fortunate for us, we were able to immediately go virtual and have no downtime with any of the work that we were doing, and all of the virtual platforms that are out there now, we were utilizing before the pandemic. So it was great to have no downtime to be able to still be in communication. And I have to say, our partnerships that we have established with Maryland Department of Commerce or the county's economic development, it was great to have those in place because we were able to get that information and get that out to the business community.
Yeah, that's great. Because a lot of people think with COVID, a lot of businesses aren't operating 100% like they used to be. And I'm sure they think the same way with the chambers. But from what I could see, just since I joined, oh my God, you guys have just been extremely busy. And what I like about it too is you're doing things that I think it's bringing more members together. Why do we keep mentioning Heather's name a lot? But like the virtual happy hour, which is great, and people are loving that. And I with the stuff that Kate has been putting on the website and on Facebook, especially the job postings. A lot of people think during COVID, well, there's not a lot of jobs out there. Kate, have you seen more jobs coming across or what?
And that's one thing. We are here to really support the community as a whole, in the grand scheme of things, with the job postings and contributing to education in the community and things like that. And like we said, we aren't just a networking group, but these connections that people are making online at our happy hours, at our coffee and connections, whether it's between people in adjacent industries that can work together and partner, or industry that can, share resources and work together and commiserate with each other and share their struggles that they're having. People are really finding that camaraderie online, virtually. And we have, a few people that are still hesitant after all these months to get on and interact with these opportunities, but we really have had those connections still being made online. And, businesses will come to me and say, oh, this customer saw you posted this on Facebook and, now they're a customer. So sometimes it's hard to see those things, but they are happening and those connections are being made and those customers are coming through these channels. So.
You know what? And I feel bad because I should have started this off with having each one of you introduce yourselves and telling everybody what you do. So go ahead and tell everybody. We'll start at the top. Angela, go ahead and tell everybody what you do and your position and everything. And I'm sorry for not doing this. It's just I'm so used to talking to you all. I figured everybody knew.
I love your enthusiasm. We just jumped right in. Like you said, we were already talking policy before we even started recording. So we were fired up and ready to go. So thank you for giving us this opportunity. I'm Angela Rose. I'm the president and CEO of the Chamber, and I get to work with these great ladies every day.
Go ahead, Heather. You're VP now.
Thank you. Yes, no, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. So I'm Heather Murphy. I'm the vice president of the Chamber, pretty much overseeing anything membership. And then we were lucky to work with, in partnership with Harford County Office of Economic Development, to partner to power an organization that is entrepreneurial focused called Venture Access. So I oversee that as well.
And we'll get into that in a minute. And then the one that I deal with probably more than anybody, Kate.
Yes, I'm Kate Rodriguez. I'm the marketing and communications specialist here at the Chamber. Everything I do is really about promoting our member businesses here, doing all that we can through every channel for them and working with our amazing partners like you. We have a radio show as well that we do for our members. So I've been with the Chamber about 2 years, and it's a really rewarding organization to be a part of, to help these local businesses, and working with these ladies as well has just been wonderful. And their hard work has really motivated me as well. So
wait a minute, you've only been there 2 years?
It feels like a lifetime, but it's only been 2 years.
I think in COVID it counts for like 10.
Right.
Joke.
Yeah.
Like, how's it only been 2 years? It feels at least like 5 or 6.
Well, how long have you been there, Heather?
I just hit 4 years in November.
And what about you, Angela?
I've been with the Chamber in July will be 7 years, and the role as president and CEO coming up in May will be 5.
5 years. Okay. Now, Heather, you mentioned something just a little bit ago, Venture Access. Tell everybody what that is.
Yes. So Venture Access is a organization meant to create a thriving entrepreneurial community in Harford County. So essentially, we work with so many great other partners in the community to have resources at the forefront for entrepreneurs or individuals who might be looking to start their business. So really, we kind of catch our for any entrepreneur in the different phases.
Come in.
They may be brand new, so maybe they just have an idea and they need kind of someone to help hone them in on what the passions are and kind of what the skills are and where that may translate. They could have an existing business plan, need some finesse, might be looking for some space or some mentorship, or they could be an established business that's looking to grow. So we kind of have a conversation with them, get to know where they are in that process, make sure that we're connecting them to the appropriate resources in the community. And I think the important part is we really are that follow-up. We don't want them to get lost anywhere in the process.
Isn't that also a separate 501c3?
It is. And thank you for bringing that up. It is powered through the Chamber.
Right.
Yes, but the organization is separate. It has its own opportunities event-wise that are from the Chamber. We have sponsors to support that program outside of the Chamber. So it is truly a good fit, though. As a Chamber, I think it's important, too, that it may not always be the appropriate timing for a business to join a chamber. A lot of times you might hear at least wait till that 2 years, because, when you're starting out, any sort of investment that you make is a precious consideration. And as much as a chamber brings so much value, it just may not be the right timing. Right. And that's fine. So venture is kind of that step up so that we can make sure that you get to that place where it does make sense. And then hopefully you'll become in our chamber family as well.
And I'd like to expand on that. With Venture Access being its own 501c3, it is able to apply for grants, and we're able to pass that money along to some of these businesses that may need a little bit of startup capital, or 30 minutes with an advisor or consultant. And as a 501c6, which is the chamber, we are usually excluded from grant opportunities. So it really makes sense and is a blessing that Venture is a 501c3, because then we are able to apply for economic development grants and being able to support some of the initiatives that we are trying to stand up, and being able to distribute those funds and have some of these initiatives that we've launched.
Just another thing to help other businesses.
Exactly.
And speaking of which, during COVID, can one of you tell everybody how the chamber has been able to help businesses that are especially struggling during this time?
Again, on top of Kate being able to distribute that information, and Heather having those one-on-one conversations with businesses and helping them understand some of what's happening, really, we have been the voice for business in Harford County, again, at that local level, working with the county executive's office and then parish over at economic development, to talk about what some of those impacts are going to look like. We have great relationships with our Harford County delegation at the state level. So being able to talk about those impacts, again, looking at the governor can put out executive orders and regulations. The county executive has the option to be more restrictive, not less restrictive, but more restrictive. So having those conversations up the chain of command, as they say, of what that impact is going to look like on businesses, if you are reducing operational hours or capacities or those types of things. So being able to share stories and have a collection of impacts, as opposed to one business calling on their own and saying, this is what's happening. We have that established data of, look, 20% of our membership has been negatively impacted or needs this because of X, Y, and Z. So, a lot of those conversations at the federal level, especially in the beginning, with our relationship with the U.S. Chamber, we were having conversations with the Small Business Administration Secretary, and we actually, at one point, we were on a call with the Vice President talking about what these impacts were. So really being able to look at the local, state, and national avenues that we had to have our voices heard. We were definitely burning up the phone lines and the airwaves and cyberspace in the beginning, making sure that we were having those conversations and having our voices heard.
I think the other aspect too, you mentioned with the help, is that it's always great to be a conduit of information. We do try to go even deeper than that by really targeting that information. So PPP, we were no experts by any means, but one of the big pieces there was trying to identify just our local banks that could administer PPP, because kind of in that realm of trying to give everybody the support they needed, it was nice to be able to say, hey, who are you are available and plan to be able to be a conduit for this? Can we publish that information out? And it gave an opportunity for the community to continue to support through the community. So we try to do very targeted initiatives, as the county released different funding for different industries, like the restaurants, we made sure that we targeted, our population and had those personal phone calls, because it's easy to put information out there, but we all know how busy we are on a normal day, and COVID obviously made that sometimes busier. So we wanted to make sure that people got the information that was really relevant to them as well.
And in the beginning, I think one of the phone calls I fielded the most was when businesses were being restricted, if they were deemed essential or not. I think I took probably, I tried to track as much as I could. And I think I took probably 40 or 45 phone calls with people saying, just questioning, what does this executive order mean? Am I deemed essential? How does this impact me? Because I'm not necessarily strictly retail, but I have this piece. So it was interesting to be not interesting, but it was, it was very fulfilling to be able to help businesses navigate all of the questions that they had with just everybody running blindlessly as to how to make heads or tails as to what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were scared. I mean, it's, and even now you're still seeing, where some restaurants especially are closing for a month or two, just to, and actually I just found this out because I featured, was it Vintage Cafe in Harvard Grace as Restaurant of the Week. Well,
I just saw that.
Yeah, by the time I picked it and posted it, now I saw what's her name? Bridget, I think it is. I can't remember. Anyways, but posted that they're closing for 2 months because of COVID. I'm like, wow. But and here's the thing, and I think this is where a lot of people don't understand, if a business is closed temporarily, they can still support that business. And there's so many different ways of supporting the businesses around here and, well, anywhere. But you guys did something for Christmas, which I thought was great, which helped out a lot of local businesses. And that was for people to purchase a stocking that was just filled with, gift cards, basically everything. And it's like, who came up with that idea? Because that was awesome.
It was all Angela's brainchild.
It honestly, I think the springboard for the stocking idea really came from Kate, who created an I'm Here Harford campaign when this all happened, for, again, to your point earlier, whether you were a chamber member or not, to let the community know that you were open and how they could support you. So it was a great online campaign, social media, that you could post your hours or what you had available if you weren't necessarily open to the public but had online sales, or you could still purchase gift certificates. So I have to give kudos to Kate for that initial idea. And then the stockings, we were just, how can we help businesses during the holidays and have people think outside of the box and showcase our members that wanted to offer something. And of course, as a not-for-profit organization, we are sustained through membership investments and event income, and what other sponsorships or contributions we can solicit. So we had a nominal fee for the stocking and just asked our members if you had a discount or an incentive or some type of marketing material that you wanted to include in the stocking, please do so. And I hope everyone enjoyed those that purchased those stockings. We got some great feedback about how it was wonderful because we had complimentary coffee or salt spa sessions, financial fitness kind of for your business, and Crossroads Bistro and some of the restaurants put in there. And it was great to just be able to showcase them and hopefully give them a little bit of a boost in the arm during the holidays, when typically sales are through the roof, but you can't, if you're unable or uncomfortable with getting out, being able to support them and understand what those businesses do have available during that.
I can honestly say that I did not enjoy my stocking.
Okay.
Because when I got it home, my wife took it right away.
The smart woman.
I can't. Happy wife, happy life. So
yes,
I can't even tell you everything that was in there. I started taking stuff out. As soon as she saw coupons and everything, oh, that's mine. So I just handed the whole thing to her.
Smart man.
Lunch or dinner with one of those gift cards.
What was that, Kate?
Hopefully she took you out to lunch or dinner or coffee or something with one of those gift cards.
Wait a minute.
I wish you could see Rich's face right now.
My wife take me out to lunch or dinner with no, I think she may have taken my daughter, but no, not me. No, I'm joking. Wait a minute, she don't listen to my podcast. So no, she didn't. This will be the one she listens to, and I'm going to be a dead man. No, I'm joking. I think she did. I don't know because I don't know everything that was in there. She took it. So she may have it. I wouldn't have known.
It was great. Like, on top of restaurants and kind of that retail aspect, we really had businesses that thought outside of the box and wanted to showcase. We had Full Circle Tire and Auto that offered, a huge savings. Boyle Buick GMC truck, they had a 10% discount for services, and they were promoting that you can get car detailings there, and you don't have to be a Buick GMC to go there for an oil change or those types of things that a consumer might not typically think of. It was great to have that in there, and it was neat to see all of the businesses really enjoy contributing and saying, oh, thank you for this opportunity. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's how do we benefit the businesses. It's how can we support you? So I hope that all of those are getting utilized. And, Rich, I'll take you out to lunch. You'll have to have a lunch with the Chamber Chicks, and we'll utilize one of those coupons.
Speaking of taking people out to lunch, yeah, because Kate had won something. Did she treat you guys to lunch?
I have not used my Route 24 gift card yet, but I need to go.
Huh.
Maybe Monday.
Heather, did you know anything about that?
I'm sorry, Kate.
I don't make it over there often, but maybe that'll be Monday. We'll head over there.
Hey, don't worry, because actually Jason renewed, so I will be giving more gift cards away. So
I'm just waiting to get another one so I can get a couple more drinks.
Well, I know it was Joe Ayler and I were discussing Tar Heel Construction Group and his Facebook page, and his thing is once he gets to 3,000 followers, we're giving away $100 in gift cards to Route 24 Ale House.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so tell everybody to follow that page, because Santa was promising Joe that it would happen by Christmas, and it didn't.
He's got to be close, and
it's very close.
Yeah. And for those of you who may be listening that don't know Joe Ayler or Tar Heel Construction, what a great guy, what a great company. He jumped in with his chamber membership with both feet and is very community oriented and really partners with a lot of businesses in the community to not only showcase them, but make a positive impact. And it's amazing to be able to follow him and see what they're doing for the community.
Also highly recommend him for service. He came out and fixed up my roof leak in my bathroom. So
you actually did my roof too. Actually, there was some stuff he threw in there that I was not expecting. So yeah, definitely excellent work. How did we get onto this? Joe's like, so it's Kate's fault. But you were mentioning something earlier about helping people and thinking outside of the box. And one of the things that I've been doing, especially with the Harford Business Beat podcast, is asking people how they're overcoming COVID. But from your viewpoint, what have you seen some businesses do different and think outside of the box, especially now during COVID?
We actually put a request out for that information to the membership not too long ago, and really wanted to see what the responses were. I think the biggest was transitioning to an online sales platform, or, again, getting creative with if they weren't able to have a site open, doing some curbside pickup or those types of things. So really kind of that online presence was the overarching theme that we saw for being creative, and really transitioning to that virtual platform, that digital platform for any type of marketing and meetings, if they needed to talk with vendors or have a consultation, if consultation or services was in their wheelhouse. Typically you might have a face-to-face conversation with someone sitting across from the desk, and that wasn't possible in this. So utilizing those online digital platforms to not stop and continue working.
And I know obviously not all businesses are able to do this, but one of our members, Elite Home Entertainment, they even started a sister company, Maryland cleaning company. They got all the certifications they needed to be a professional cleaning company. And so obviously with COVID, disinfecting businesses and homes, and going into homes, they had some hesitancy going into homes and setting up the home theaters and things like that, so they can also go in with that cleaning company, clean and do everything else that they need to do with the home entertainment. So things like that are just amazing and inspiring to us, that putting in that work and doing those things that they need to do to stay relevant and improve upon the business that they already have.
Our members are incredible. They did not sit by and say what's going to happen or woe is me. They hustled and figured it out and got creative, and really the ingenuity was fantastic. We have a photographer, Mid-Atlantic Photographic, who typically does a lot of commercial work with drones and big companies, and they were impacted. So they partnered with Niche marketing and came up with a kind of we're still here, we're open campaign to take some photography of businesses and put that online presence. So it was great to see the partnerships too, realizing that working together, that my favorite saying, a rising tide lifts all ships, and that working together is really one of the ways to sustain through this.
Yeah, there's so many great stories. One of my favorites too is Ben Meyer from Vagabond. Of course, this would happen. It was quiet up until that, for the record. Ben Meyer from Vagabond. I think in the beginning, when it was really hard to find milk and cheese and all the craziness, that toilet paper even, how he set up a little shop inside Vagabond.
Did he really?
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
It was like a little one-stop shop market. Pick up your food, and then if you needed some milk, and he supplies a lot of other local businesses too. So it was really neat to see people pivot to complementing like business lines or just temporary things to help people get through.
Yeah, PPE. A lot of our marketing material companies that you typically might buy pens or koozies or that type of thing. They were getting PPE in, hand sanitizer stations. It was. Heather knows I hate that pivot word, but really that's what a lot of the businesses were doing to work with the market and what the needs of the community were at the point. Businesses that, distilleries that started making hand sanitizer, just incredible, just incredible resilience and perseverance. And, our businesses were not going down without a fight.
One of the things I saw too, and I may have mentioned this to Heather before, was the rise of food trucks. There's a lot more restaurants started getting into the food truck business. And the other thing that I really loved, and Angela, you might be able to answer this, and I'm hoping it stays this way. One of the things that at least Harford County, and I know other counties did with restaurants, was giving them the ability to deliver alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
When we get back to the new normal, do you know if the county, state, or whatever has any plans for restaurants to continue that?
So that has been a conversation that we've had, and Delegate Griffith, who is from Harford County, he was instrumental in getting that legislation passed. He is very much an advocate of keeping that continuing and not having that be rescinded. Being able to give the restaurants that ability to be able to get your orange crushes or your signature mimosas. It was whatever really neat ideas they came up with. Being able to continue that.
I hope they do, because I just think that's going to help the restaurants even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that it works. So why take away something if it works?
Amen.
We'll see. But knock on wood. Figures I have no wood around here. Jeez.
Heather's house is knocking on.
Yeah. Hey, Heather, tell them to knock.
Plenty of that happening over here for you. Cover us all for the next year.
Education, because we talked about advocacy and everything. But are you guys? And I should know this, and I know you were before, offering any type of webinars or anything online.
Absolutely. Our core pillars of work are, we say we're the ace in your business game, and that's the advocacy, the connections, education, and our savings programs. And we haven't stopped with the education. We will host some of our own educational seminars through maybe some of our members or some affiliates that have, one of the main topics that we had in the beginning was that marketing piece of how that works. And what we're seeing now is the ability to really promote other opportunities for that education piece with the PPP and all of the questions that are coming along with it. Our partners are offering some of those webinars. So U.S. Chamber, NFIB, SBDC, Small Business Development Center, all of those partners that are already creating that content and really the experts in the field. We're trying to push that out and promote that so that our members can utilize that information at their leisure. If they can make a webinar or some type of educational seminar during a specific time, great. But a lot of times they're able to register and just watch the recording at their convenience.
Right.
We've even shifted to not necessarily, if there's a topic that we need to host our in-house seminar, we will absolutely do so. But we've really seen that transition to utilizing our partner webinars and getting that information out to the membership.
And by the way, I was joking. I knew that you were, because I actually did take part in one.
Softball question. Really appreciate
it. Good. Let's go ahead and tell people. Well, I think people understand why they should join the chamber, but how they can. And something you mentioned earlier too. It's not for everybody. So explain to them the process and everything, if you don't mind.
So what I always recommend is, I feel that starting out with a conversation is definitely best. We appreciate the online application always exists. It's there. It captures a lot of information about the business. But I always recommend this. If an individual is interested, number one, you can check us out on one of the connections events that we might be doing. We have a chamber connection, which is our orientation. So that really gives you an insight into what being a chamber member is all about. Even our coffee and connections, I know they're very similar in name. Don't get confused. CNC is the monthly networking, and that's a good way to just kind of get your name out in the community, introduce to some of your potential fellow chamber members and just those in the community. So that's always a good way too. But reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation just to kind of understand where the business might be, what are the goals or the priorities, and then it's easy for me to then translate that into the value that comes from the chamber membership and how some of the benefits that we offer align with the goals of that business. So we're very warm and fuzzy. We've got plenty of people that we also refer any perspectives to, like Rich, you're on our membership development committee. Those are an amazing group of individuals that are fellow chamber members. And we're all about being real. I mean, they tell you, this is what I utilize. This is the benefit I get from it. This could help you. And I think that's important. And I think people do respect the transparency that the three of us bring as a team, and that you all as members who are also chamber cheerleaders, bring two perspectives as well.
They are going to bust down your door. I can see it.
They're not even that close. It's because I have an open foyer, so sound just travels.
People are, you know what? I'm going to have to really mess with this part and add some things in there, like.
You're going to get getting fired. A lot of Harford County.
That would be amazing. Yes, please do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This will be entertaining for sure.
What's that?
This will be entertaining for sure, this episode. You got a lot to contend with.
Oh, God. Where were we? Oh, talking about why people should join the chamber. And one of the things I like to add, and well, Kate has heard me tell other people this that have been on Harford Business Beat. And it to me, I've been in chambers for years, but this is by far the best chamber I've ever been in. And to me, it's like family.
Good.
Yeah, and that's
to be.
That's one thing that makes a big difference. I mean, you three alone care about everybody, whereas other chambers I've been in, it really wasn't that way. Some people didn't feel comfortable, but you guys make everybody feel comfortable, and I want to applaud the three of you for that, because I think personally. I think one of the reasons that a lot of people are joining the chamber, Harford County Chamber, is because of you three. And
thank you. That's so sweet. Well, that's amazing. That's why we do it. Obviously, we love what we do, and we care about the community. And so to get that feedback, like, you've made my day, and just like that's the push that we need when we do start to get a little bit exhausted or kind of want to throw our hands up the air and say, what is going on? That feedback right there, now I'm ready. Let's do this.
No, but you guys do, seriously. I mean, it's and granted, I know on the virtual happy hour sometimes we joke. We even on some of the chamber connections, we joke around, but I think it breaks the tension and everybody feels comfortable.
Yeah, you have to have fun. Like, yes, it's business, but you have to make it fun. You have to you want to be there. You want it to be enjoyable. And, if you can't have fun and make it happen and all together, like, what's the point? So you might as well have fun, be fabulous, and make things happen.
Yeah, I give credit to the pandemic. It definitely propelled us into this new world of, I think, like vulnerability and camaraderie, and really kind of broke people's walls down. And I think that's why I feel like we've just hit a whole new threshold in terms of, like you mentioned, people on virtual happy hours that are talking outside, and we're all joking with one another. We know so much more about each other's personal lives, but it's still business related, and it's a way that we've still been able to connect. So definitely have to thank the pandemic for doing a lot of that and breaking down walls and kind of having people connect on a whole nother level that they just haven't done before.
Well, and the funny thing is with that, I met more people virtually, and I still, like, out of the three of you, I've only met Angela and Kate in person. I haven't met you in person yet, Heather.
You've not met Heather in person yet? That's crazy.
Oh. I didn't bring that up because I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Wow.
Yeah, and like some of the podcasts. What's that?
But I feel like I have. That's the thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a lot of the podcasts I've been doing, I've never met the people face to face. And when there was that little break over the summertime, I recorded some in person. And I don't know if you know Paige Mulhausen or not. Okay. Well, Paige, we did it virtually. The first podcast we did. Never met her. So we did it virtually, and then we did another one in person. That's the first time we met, and it was like, it was weird. It's like we've known each other for God knows how long.
Well, okay.
We just met.
So we need to definitely use this as a testimonial, because one of the things that Heather has heard and we've talked about in our team meetings is, some of our members are not, quite candidly, saying, well, what's the point in renewing if we can't be in person for events? And we have really done, we've tried, and I think we've done a phenomenal job, not to toot our own horns, with hosting things in that digital virtual platform and making sure you still have that connection piece. And kind of the question that we ask is, okay, totally understand. Obviously, in person is great, but we have to look at our membership and understand that some employers aren't allowing their employees to be in person. You may be a vulnerable population and not want to attend something in person. So, how do we be inclusive as opposed to exclusive? And that really is that virtual digital platform. And when we do have our signature events, we're building in time for the members to have breakout sessions and just say hi, how are you, and chat. So not to be up on, kind of get on my platform, as they say, but that is great to hear, and thank you for bringing that up, because we haven't stopped. We have adjusted and made sure that our members do still get to connect, even though they don't get to be face to face. And I'm blown away. I do. I feel like we've all met a million times in person, so that's funny that you two haven't met in person.
It's. I thought about that the other day, about all these people that I've been talking to that I haven't met yet. And it's just, it's weird, because I talk to a lot of people all the time, but still never met them in person.
Yeah. Well,
that is a crazy reunion when we're able to all gather again.
Our 45th anniversary is this year, and we're planning.
Party!
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's it. Like, maybe we'll do some type of game with, like, a face and a name, and who we haven't met yet, but you have to figure out who the person is. Something fun to tie in, because when we are able to get together again in person, it's going to be one heck of a party.
You know what? You think about that. When everybody can meet in person again, how many parties are there going to be? Wow. Liquor stores are going to make they're probably making a bundle now, but they're going to make even more. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
The sheriff's deputies are going to be like, okay, do we set up or not? People are releasing a lot of tension right now.
Right. Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be crazy. So, Kate, you were getting ready to say something, weren't you? No? Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Just, I'm down with the party. We're definitely going to be parties.
Oh, man, I can't wait. Well, that's one of the things that stinks, because one of the big fundraisers I do every year is for the Michael J. Fox Foundation that I DJ, and I couldn't do it this year. And and just like with Christmas, our Lions Club, we couldn't do our breakfast with Santa, and thank God the kids were. I saw more kids this year than I have any other year.
Well, you talk about that transitioning and figuring out how to make it work. Kudos to you. Incredible that you did, to be able to still support the community and make sure kids were able to enjoy the holiday season, and not be too negatively impacted with not being able to do the breakfast with Santas or those in-person events.
And no pets peed on my lap. So, Kate, you handle the website, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell everybody the website, because the changes to it I love. And the website is excellent, I believe.
I have to give credit. We worked with a team of students from Towson University of Northeastern Maryland to put that website together, and our hosting is done through eMoxie Data Solutions. So they've both been great, but I am constantly updating that homepage on the website. So head over to harfordchamber.org at any time if you're wondering what we're doing. Right on that homepage, you're going to see our next couple of upcoming events and everything that's going on. And our calendar is always full of events and online events and our member events. So definitely head over to our website if you're wondering what's going on, resources. You can connect to all of our social media. Those are updated in real time. Like we were talking about, all the legislative updates. A lot of those go out on our social media channel. So definitely stay connected to us in all of those different ways.
Do you ladies have anything to add?
I'm just going to piggyback. I always have something to say, so I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'm going to piggyback on what Kate talked about with working with Towson University. We have an initiative called Connect, which is one end, and it's Chamber Organized Network for Education and Career Training. And that is a platform for students, whether they be in high school or college, that are looking for internships. Businesses can go and put any opportunities that they may have available. Harford Community College, Harford County Public Schools can upload any type of needs they may have. So that may be a mentor or a guest speaker, so they can utilize that platform. And I just have to say, we have had the incredible fortune to work with some great students through pushing that initiative at Towson University, Harford Community College, Edgewood High School with the Academy of Finance. We're currently employing interns, and all of them have been wonderful to work with. And it's great to be able to assist that future workforce and that talent pipeline of students that are going to be moving into their next phase of real life, and being able to kind of prepare them for that. So if you have an opportunity for an internship, please upload that. If you have any questions, or students, again, can go in and register to look for any opportunities that may be coming their way and get notified. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us about that.
Connect, wasn't Christian Walker started that, right?
Yes, we actually, it was the perfect storm. We were working kind of a business oriented side, and he had the student side, and someone connected us because he was actually an intern at the Harford County Community and Economic Development. And Len Parrish connected us, and we put the ideas together to create this idea that morphed everything. And it was great because now we can assist the students, the businesses, and the institutions for any needs they may have. And Christian worked with us to do that, and graduated this year, and is knocking it out of the park in his next venture as well.
A perfect storm, no pun, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because I think that's what he's doing. He's at college in Georgia, and I don't know if he's studying to be a meteorologist or what, but he's doing something with weather down there.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny story, he was on my podcast, him and elementary school teacher named Pete Ross. They used to do a website called Harford County Weather Watch. That was one of my biggest downloaded podcast episodes for a while. It was like 2 hours long.
Wow.
About the weather. And I couldn't believe how many people down, but awesome kid. I don't want to say he's not a kid anymore, he's a young adult. But yeah, he's a great guy. And when he told me, he came to me about the Connect thing, and now that I think about it, I said, man, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the podcast episodes with me.
Yeah, it's the benefit of how do we benefit the community, and looking at students and the institutions and businesses. It all works together. And obviously the pandemic really restricted and changed up what the look of internships has been, but some of the businesses have been creative and have been able to work with people online. And we have an intern that's working with Heather right now for Connect that came through the Academy of Finance. And in this capacity, we have not met him in person, but he has another job, and so I get to see him when I go do my shopping. But it's great. He's getting his internship hours, and that education and information, and we are being able to utilize his wonderful talents. So it's a win-win for everybody. At the end of the day, that's how it should be.
And it just goes to show that this chamber doesn't help just businesses, but students as well. And who knows, later on down the road, he may end up being an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
And give the chamber all the credit. Wouldn't that be awesome?
It's it's all of you that make it the chamber that it is. Because if we didn't have the support of our board and our volunteers, I mean, I say it all the time, it's all of you who are investing your time, talent, and resources. And it is not just lip service. It is absolutely true. If it weren't for members like you who understand what we do and the value, we wouldn't be successful. So thank you to you and everyone that's listening. And I know we mentioned a lot of members in this podcast today and didn't mention a lot of others. So if you're interested in seeing our full membership, please visit harfordchamber.org, because we do have the most amazing members in Harford County.
And we have fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun. So, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Angela, I said this last time you were on that we have to do this again. And after COVID is done, we definitely got to do it again.
Absolutely. I think in person at one of the, I think we do a tour. We get on a bus and we do a podcast around the county of all of like the watering holes and restaurants and things like that.
Not in one day, I hope.
Oh, come on. The challenge.
As long as we have a bus driver, that could be a fun podcast.
Absolutely.
It would start off like this. Everything is okay. And by the end of
Right.
Oh, jeez. Get me in trouble. Heather, Kate, Angela, once again, thank you. And thank you for everything that you guys do. And anybody that wants to join the chamber, definitely go to harfordchamber.org, contact one of these young ladies or a member and talk to them about it, because it is definitely the best thing that has happened to me, just, for my business, because of all the people I've met. And doing the podcast, with Kate, the Harford Business Beat, I love that too, even though you guys did, beat me for best local podcast. But that's
Technically, it's you. You make it happen. So
that's and thank you for all the work that you put into getting that spotlight on our member businesses. You do an amazing job, and we get some great feedback on the podcast that you do. So thank you.
My pleasure. I just, me, I'm big on supporting local.
Yes.
Really big. So
now that you've heard about what the ladies at the chamber do, and even the members, I know you're going to join. I have confidence that you're going to join. It just makes sense. It's a win-win for your business. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I mean, ever since I joined, and I've only been a member of this chamber for a year, I've never gotten so much out of any chamber that I've belonged to until I joined this one. Just go to harfordchamber.org. It's that simple. Everything's on there. Or give them a call. Call Kate, call Angela, call Heather, call one of them. 410-838-2020. If you have any questions, again, go to the website, look at the membership directory, contact a member, ask them, talk to them. If you can't get a hold of one of the ladies, talk to a member. Believe me, it's so beneficial. If you're a business owner, even if you sell Avon, Amway, whatever, if you're the owner of a car dealer, it makes sense. And the people that you're going to meet there are just amazing. Like I said before, I've met some of the greatest people ever since I became a member of the chamber. So again, go to harfordchamber.org, and I can't wait to see you at one of the meetings. Few things that I would like to remind you all about. Number one, please, 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 please leave a review of the podcast. All you have to do is go to lovethepodcast.com/Harco Living. Again, that's lovethepodcast.com/Harco Living. And while you're at it, if you can, please buy me a coffee. That's right. Buy me a coffee. Well, you're not really buying me a coffee. You're making a donation so I can keep this podcast going. Yeah, it's because of you and my sponsors that I'm allowed. Well, I'm not allowed. I'm able to keep this podcast going. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot more that you can even imagine. So just go to buymeacoffee.com
buymeacoffee.com/Harco Living. Again, that's buymeacoffee.com/Harco Living. And it's that time again. That's right. I am giving away a $25 gift card to Route 24 Ale House. The winner's going to be chosen on Wednesday, March 17th, my father's favorite holiday, St. Patrick's Day. And all you have to do is leave a review of the podcast. And you know where to go to do that. lovethepodcast.com/Harco Living. So leave a review. I'm going to pick one person at random. That person will get a $25 gift card to Route 24 Ale House, where you can go and enjoy a kickin' bourbon burger, which is out of this world. Wings have to be the best wings around, and all types of different beer on tap. So again, just leave a review, and good luck. March 17th, we're going to have the winner.